Wesley. I'm saying that right?
Wesley, that is correct.
Wesley.
Yes.
Your mic, we gotta fix it.
Oh, is it
Make
too low?
sure that your mic is like aiming to you. Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, that's good.
Better?
And then just bring it a little bit closer,
Sure.
I think.
Sure.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I was concerned because I naturally talk loud, especially when I get excited, and I didn't want to blow out your eardrums or anything like that.
Oh no, I got this, and I'm seeing that. And
That's just the volume. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Cool.
So perfect.
Perfect.
Talk to me again. Say perfect.
Perfect.
Okay. Good.
Sounds great.
Huh.
Hey,
Hi.
Angel, how are you?
I'm good. And you?
Good. I'm fantastic. Fantastic.
I'm listening to your voice, and it sounds amazing. Actually, I feel like I am the guest and you the host. So,
Yeah,
welcome.
you have quite the reading voice yourself, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can I, if I were to give you a book from my library up here, would you read like a sentence from it?
I would read that in broken English.
In broken? Oh no, please. Speaking of which, welcome to Broken English.
Welcome to in broken English.
In Broken English.
Yes,
Excuse me.
yes.
Excuse me.
That's for real. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a book real quick.
La re me.
All right. So this is a book on string theory. It is particle physics. And let's see, I highlighted a really good one that I like to read too. So you see where it says at the very bottom, that blue right there?
Yeah.
I want you to read that sentence all the way to the end.
All right. The one that start with special?
Yeah.
Special relativity. Huh, here we go. Special relativity.
But you can do this. I really want to hear it.
Special relativity is not in our bones. We do not feel. It's in. I'm gonna start over. Special relativity. Relativity. Let's try it that way. Special relativity is not in our bones. We don't feel it. Its implications are not a central part of our intuition. The reason for this is quite simple. The effect of special relativity depends upon how fast one moves and speak in broken English.
That sounded great. Actually, you have a reading voice too, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Which book is this? The Elegant Universe. These sound like...
Yeah, so what that book basically explains is the idea of string theory, which means, how atoms, right? Molecules, like water molecules and stuff, that's comprised of atoms, the tiniest things in the universe. But inside atoms are even smaller particles. That book basically explains that the tiny particles are played into existence by tiny vibrating strings, which basically means the universe is made of music. Literally made of music. Yeah. Yeah. No, string theory. Look it up. It's quite something.
Is this like quantum physics or something?
It is quantum physics. Yeah.
It is quantum physics.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Quantum physics. Yeah.
So there is atoms, and then there's photons.
Yeah, like light particles.
Light particles.
Yeah.
I think I heard that before.
Yes. Yeah, those are photons. When you take the word photograph?
Yes.
Yeah.
About taking a photo?
Yeah, so the word photo in photograph, that means light. So a photon is a light particle.
Bro, you are an encyclopedia. Okay.
Yeah. I just needed to hear your voice reading something scientific, because I really do think that you have a voice as well for this kind of thing.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, no, think about it. Please.
Okay.
Narrate an audiobook. I'd buy it in a second.
You see? My broken English is going to take me places.
Yeah, and actually, the accent that you have, that helps a lot too.
Oh, because accent is something that is trending now.
Is it really?
I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in my mind, like most of the, science teachers that I've had, they're from outside of the US, and so they've always had an accent. So when I think, like science narration, science speak, I think in accent. I think in broken English.
How cool.
Yeah. But anyway, how did you enjoy dinner tonight, actually?
You're a great chef.
Thank you.
So,
was it missing anything, in your opinion?
no.
Other than garlic bread. I did not have garlic bread.
Oh, good. I'm trying to stay away from those carbs.
Gotcha.
But that was gnocchi?
Yeah.
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi, yeah.
Gnocchi with gnocchi or gnocchi beef? How do I describe that?
So that is gnocchi in beef sauce, or meat sauce, rather. Vodka meat sauce. So you take, there's regular, like, pasta sauce, right?
Yeah.
And then there's another kind of pasta sauce called vodka sauce. And it's not made with vodka, not all of it is, but it does have, like, more cheese in it, so it has a different flavor. It's made with different tomatoes, too, so it's, like, sweeter, it's tangier.
Would you get drunk if you eat the whole jar of vodka sauce?
No.
Okay.
Even if it's made with vodka, the alcohol cooks out. Have you ever seen chefs add like white wine to a pan and then it like catches on fire?
Oh, yes. That's very cool.
Yeah, so I like to do that with my Alfredo. A little bit of white wine, the acidity, it helps the flavor. I can't tell you how, but it does. And so when alcohol cooks to like a certain temperature, it's a really low temperature, the flavor stays, but the alcohol, it cooks out, so you don't get drunk. There's no alcohol in it. It's just the flavor. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so the next time you cook like a steak in like on like a grill or something,
yes,
put a little red wine on it.
I had the red wine. I just drink it. But it tastes very good. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming over and enjoying it.
Oh, thank you. And this is and listening to you, I'm enjoying everything that you're saying because
likewise.
I'm just realizing, when I'm setting up all these podcasts and just I'm thinking, I said, when I'm doing this, when I'm just going with all these cables and going to places and it's this idea of connect.
Yeah.
I really enjoying connecting with others who are different than I. And then I'm learning. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
It is. And also, you feed me. That's good.
Of course. Hospitality, man.
So much. Where's your background?
My background?
Yes.
As in what regard? Like where I come from?
Yes.
Oh, I want you to imagine Los Angeles on a map. Where it's like on a map?
L.A.?
L.A., yeah.
Los Angeles in the map. I know it's south from here.
Yeah, so picture it in your mind's eye where it is on a map. To the right of that is a massive desert. I'm from smack in the middle of that.
Is that called Bakersfield?
No, that's way more north. But okay. I'm from Riverside County.
Okay, I think I got an idea. So
what about Joshua Tree?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so yes. I'm not too far away from there. It's a desert in the. Have you seen Star Wars: A New Hope? You know that desert planet? That's basically where I'm from.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
like literally.
No, not literally, but it looks a lot like that. So the most interesting thing we have is a cute blonde that works at a McDonald's. That's our attraction.
Wait, say that. Cute. What'd you say?
Oh,
you have the cute?
I'm kidding, but it's no, like the most interesting thing about our town was this cute blonde that worked at the McDonald's.
Because everybody's blonde or what?
Well, no, because she was cute. Like she was the most interesting thing about the town. That's how boring it was.
Oh, it was this beautiful woman who was blonde who works at McDonald's.
Yeah,
became an icon.
Yeah, and that's the only reason to visit our town was to see her.
Oh,
yeah, and so it was really boring when that was your most the notable part about the town, I had to leave. But speaking, enough jokes. Speaking realistically, my background, I was a university student.
Okay.
I had a decent amount of friends, I had, the wonderful girlfriend, I basically had it all, together. But it was one of those instances where I had freedom, but I didn't feel it. I had happiness, but I didn't know it. And so I took everything for granted. And when that all fell apart, I did what any rational human being would do. I sold everything I had, moved to one of the most expensive cities in the world with no job lined up, no plan. I didn't know what I was doing. I got a job working security for a hospital, stuck the landing. So I'm just kind of picking up the pieces and, appreciating what I no longer have that I'm getting again. So a good circle of friends. I'm maturing. I'm 27. I recognize that I'm not super young, but I'm also not old either. I'm like you, like I'm still learning. But just a young man trying to find his way in the world. What about you? What's your background? Where are you from?
I'm listening to you. You're 27.
Yeah.
You sound very mature.
Thank you.
I'm 40. I think I want to sneeze. Yeah, and he's gone.
Okay, cool.
Good.
Cool. Okay, I was about to toss you the box of tissues.
I was born in Puerto Rico. Too many years ago, 40 years ago. And I think, and I feel that I had a lot of things that made me happy there, but I didn't see it. So when you're talking about this, it's kind of like I'm not the only one. So it's very familiar. At the same time, actually, I want to move. Puerto Rico is it's an island in the Caribbean. Weather is 70, 80. The easiest way to kill Puerto Rican is with coal. You put a Puerto Rican in 59 degrees, he's dead. Yeah, so we live in the Caribbean. It's tropical. It's good weather.
Yeah.
We are lovely people. I think we are very happy somehow, but also we struggle as society. And I always wanted not to go out to move, but I actually gonna say I want to escape. And I felt that escape. And the way that escape, I joined in the military. So I had to learn in broken English. And I used the military as a bridge to move. Now, once I got out of the military, I didn't know how to do. I didn't know what to do with my life. I felt lost. And while I was being lost, I started moving from place to place, from place to place, from place to place. So I traveled a lot. I used to live in Germany, and then I hung out in Europe a little bit.
Yeah,
and very interesting. I used to live in my car all around the United States.
Oh, wow.
So the only state that I have not been in is Alaska, Hawaii. Everywhere else I have been.
Yeah, it'd be a little difficult getting to Hawaii in a car.
Yes, I know, right?
It's difficult.
And when I'm answering to you, I'm like kind of like thinking, oh my God, all this stuff. But at the end, just like you, I chose to be in the Bay Area, the most expensive city from all freaking US, I think, at this time. And a part of me love it, a part of me hate it.
Oh yeah, you gotta take it with the good with the bad.
Yes.
Yeah, pick your good.
But I'm here.
Yeah.
And something that I learned is that You know, a lot of the time we have expectation from the outside, from the outer world.
Yeah.
And what I'm learning is that we have to become we need to be that seed. If we want to see flowers, we need to be then the farmer, you know, the gardener,
Oh, yeah.
and build our own reality. And then here, there's a lot of stuff that I don't have, but I have opportunities and possibilities. And building this podcast is one of my ways to connect with people, because something that I miss is connecting with people. Like I really do.
Oh, I bet. And
I became very addicted to social media and trying to find things in the phone, in my smartphone.
Yeah.
That I never couldn't find, because a smartphone is not going to replace like connection with real people.
Yeah.
So and so. And now I'm here appreciating small things, like having a conversation. For me, this is a blast.
Yeah, no, I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, you know, this is something that I've been meaning to get back into as well. Just kind of connecting with people, because I kind of lost my passion for that, but I'm regaining it this year, because I'm, you know, in a much more healthy mindset. It's more open, you know. Last year it was just, you know, me, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I was also focusing on myself, you know. But now I'm ready to expand. I was just telling my friend the other day, you know, about like, you know, how I feel about dating and relationships even. I'm ready to share, and you also have to be willing to listen when other people share as well.
Yes.
So I'm really understanding that importance. You know, I wanted to ask you earlier. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to say that in order to have a healthy relationship with others, we need to have a healthy relationship with ourselves.
Yes.
And also, once we had that check, we need to make sure that the other person that we are dating or going out with also is having a good relationship with herself.
Yes.
Or himself, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I'm saying this because a lot of the time we're good, but the other person is not that good, or vice versa.
Absolutely.
But we need to be kind of aware. But I like what you're saying, because I think that's the right path, just to have a good relationship with ourselves and then start open to others.
Yeah. It's like when I was you know, a struggling teenager, you know, in the dating scene or whatnot, even as a young adult, something that people always told me was you have to love yourself before you can love another. And that I didn't really grasp what that meant until recently, when I truly started loving myself. I like the man that I'm growing into. Like, I can cook. I've got my own place. I live by the beach. I work. My credit is 815. Man,
good.
I like where I'm going. You know, and it's been a really good year in that regard. You know, it took a lot of work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Way more blood than I'd like to admit. You know, working in a hospital, you see that kind of thing.
Oh,
but, yeah. At the same time, that's where the money's at. And Bay Area is really expensive. But I wanted to ask before, you said you were in the military, right?
Yes.
What branch?
Army.
Army?
Yeah.
For how many years?
Trying to remember a lot of things, because intentionally I'm trying to delete a lot of things. But
okay.
No, that's okay.
Okay,
You can ask me whenever, man.
Sure.
Whatever you want. Yeah, like whatever. I'm glad that you're asking me. You challenge me. You know, I'm gonna answer to that, but I'm gonna say earlier, wow, it's sometimes difficult to answer questions about ourselves. I mean, it is difficult, but I think it's important to have that self-reflection.
Yes.
And try to pull out the answer.
Yeah.
You know.
It really is.
And I'm saying this because I just realized that it's hard for me to say I am from this place particularly. I don't feel that I'm from a place. And I'm not saying that that's something good. I don't think it's something bad, but I think I think it's very important to highlight. Like, for where I'm from, I think I don't see that yet. I mean, I don't see I'm from here. And I was thinking about that while you were, when I was answering to you, I was just thinking that in the back of my head. And now in the military, I spent 4 years. This is the thing with the military: 4 years, no, 3 years, 4 years,
Okay.
National Guard, and then the other 4 years active duty.
Oh, National Guard.
Yes, that was my entry, and then
Okay.
after during National Guard, I became an Army officer. Don't ask me how. I became I went to ROTC. I finished my master's degree,
Nice.
and that was once I finished my master's degree and I finished my ROTC program. I have the opportunity. They offer me, hey, you want to go active or you want to go stay in guard? And I said, I want to be out of Puerto Rico. Let me go active. and that's it. I don't have any, because I don't have any crazy stories like combat or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of, I'm not diminishing myself. I think I had done a lot and I feel that I served to this country. But I think there's other real heroes that have done so much. And I'm saying this because a lot of people think like, oh, you're in the military, tell me what you have seen. And
Yeah.
I don't want to brag about, I don't think I have anything to brag about it. Now, being that said, I'm not saying that I sacrifice a lot, actually. Like I sacrifice a lot, but I think there's a lot of men and women that have been sacrificing more than I did. Yeah. So I don't have any crazy stories. So here, I'm not a hero. I don't think I'm a hero in any of my stories. But yeah, I mean, I was in the military, and a lot of the things that I learned there helped me after. And I think I'm no regret. I'm regret the way that I left the military.
Were you dishonorably just discharged?
No. I have honorable discharge.
Okay.
I just I resigned when I was going to become captain.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was like I wasn't clear with myself. So I think I was being responsible of saying no, and I resigned. And once I resigned, I went through a divorce, very fucked up divorce.
I understand. My condolences.
No, I'm happily.
Great. Congratulations.
Yes, it was good.
Happy divorce. Hallmark makes cards for happy divorce.
I saved a lot of myself.
Oh, good.
I'm so glad. It's a sad story, but I think good. I'm glad. Like, so good. I'm so much better now.
I'm glad. Absolutely.
So, but yeah, at that time I didn't see it that way.
Of course.
And when I got divorced and I resigned from the military, I saved a lot of money, and then I traveled. And that's why I started moving from place to place.
Gotcha.
So I live in my car with money, and I went to place. And yeah, that sounds very exciting. But at the same time, I felt that I was lost in my mind. So I took those years to reflect and to see what I wanted and trying to put my life together. And I want to say this because I know I'm going to listen to myself in the future, and other people are going to listen to me.
Yeah.
The most important thing when we think about put ourselves together is the brain, the mind. I think the mindset is that the consciousness, which I call it spiritual. Spirituality is, for me, is equal to being conscious and self-reflection. That saved me. And because of that, I'm able to do this, to talk to people and be open. Yeah.
Well, that's one hell of a journey. Not just around the world, but in your own head as well.
Oh, yeah. My journey is in the head.
Yeah. But I got to say a couple things. First, I wanted to say thank you for your service. your country really does appreciate it, and I don't think it's fair that you're undercutting the value of what you did in the military. Like, of course, it's not healthy to see ourselves as heroes. That's how you develop, an ego. But, you really did an awesome thing even by serving, and I think you at least should give yourself a pat on the back for that. And even though you're trying to delete that part of your history, it will be remembered. Honestly, really would.
Thank you.
But I also wanted to say that the fact that you decided to leave, that must have taken a lot of strength. And then you, after said divorce and stuff, you traveled the world with money. That is like the ideal situation for every guy. Oh my God, I'm kind of jealous that you did that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I did kind of backward. I retired first and now I'm working again.
Speaking of which, go ahead.
But and actually I'm saying that as a joke, but that's how I felt. And
I bet.
And because now, I'm not like, I don't like travel. I have to get money around here, and I need to pay the bills. But I felt that I travel a lot, and now I'm busy doing other stuff. Now, my final goal is to repeat that. But I'm not saying this is a good advice, but to every man, I would say, and every woman, but, as a man,
of course,
I would say, the first years of your life, just travel. Do whatever you want. Be responsible, but travel. See the world. Because
agreed.
I got my bachelor, I got my master, I have education, but the most important things in life that I have been learning have been through traveling and talking to regular people.
Yeah.
It's not university, it's not college, it's not the education.
Yeah.
And if I feel also it's kind of like an insurance. If I die, I saw the world already.
That's true. That's absolutely true. You can definitely say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to travel some more. Hopefully I don't need to use that insurance.
What's your next destination?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. But I want to stay here in the Bay. I want to fall in love with this place.
Yeah.
I want to grow here because the other thing is something that I learned. The reason I moved here is I moved from New York to here to the Bay Area.
Gotcha.
And that was one thing that I was seeing in the news. Oh, in the Bay Area, there's a lot of money. There's people making it. It's a great place. I came here and not true.
Yeah. Like
There's a lot of, there's a lot of things going on, but yes, it is true. There's a lot of people. There's people who are making it. And the reason I came here is to understand culture. Because if I want to have that business or have that entrepreneur mindset or have that way of life, I need to surround with people who are living that, who are part of that, and learn from them.
Oh, yeah.
So what I'm doing here is just collecting data, collecting information from people, learning behaviors, and applying that. So, and that's what I'm saying. I want to fall in love with this place, with the good and the bad. And hopefully with that, I can generate some income and then travel again, because I really do love the fact of traveling.
Yeah. And
see the world and talk to people.
Yeah.
But right now, I think I'm going to stay here for a while, which is good.
You and me both.
Yeah.
You and me both. I'm going to be here for a minute.
Okay, so we're going to see each other. We're going to hike.
Yes.
Yes.
We're gonna hike. We're going to go climbing at the gym you were telling me about,
yes.
too. Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll see each other at the Christmas party. Or the Thanksgiving party.
Yeah. That's how I met you. This is the second time I'm seeing you. The first time I met you, it was there was a bunch of people. Yeah. It was Thanksgiving party. Alan invited me. Hi, Alan. So
hi, Alan.
He invited me to the party. I met you. We exchanged some ideas.
Yeah.
And then we never talked for more than half a year. I think I sent you a text. You replied me 3 months later, and then I replied you 2 months later or something like that. And
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm glad we're finally here. It was actually Jamie who invited me. Hi, Jamie. Just giving the shout out.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Who's Jamie?
He's the one dude. Sure was. Oh, I'll introduce you to him.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Jamie. You know, Chris? He plays saxophone.
Does he really?
Yeah. It's
That's
very cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can totally vibe with that.
Yeah. He was in the podcast. He was in the show. He's from.
Well, was it the first one?
No. Apparently, I got a thing. I mean, musicians follow me, so everybody here's like a musician. So, do you play any instrument?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But I could appreciate a good saxophone player for sure.
Okay. So,
Absolutely.
I'm learning how to play guitar.
Yeah.
Because Danny, from my band, the first episode.
Yes.
He gave me a guitar.
He gave
It's
you a guitar.
beautiful. It's just agua blue. It's bluish, and now I have I always wanted to play guitar. Now I have people who want to teach me. I have 2 guitars. I have the time, so I have no excuse. I have to learn how to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris. I met Chris because of Alan, and
Gotcha.
we have this in broken English conversation.
No, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
It's beautiful. Your English is really good, by the way.
it's getting better.
It is. It really
Yeah.
is.
I think this is a good way to practice.
Yeah.
And you want to hear something?
Sure.
This comes from a place of fear. And I always wanted to create this kind of like thing.
Yeah.
But I was afraid and scared of my English. I learned English in the hard way. And I ask to the wrong people for feedback. Like I ask a lot, hey, if I have a show in English, would you think that people would accept that? And everybody was telling me, no, you cannot even speak. Like you need subtitles. And I'm not criticizing them. I'm criticizing myself because I believe that and I stayed quiet for years. And then last year, after I have a very close experience with that, I had surgery by emergency. That's
Story for another time.
Yeah, that's another story.
Sure.
But
next episode.
But there, I reflect a lot about, hey, what are the things that I want to do? I mean, and I think the reality is, I don't think I'm going to do everything that I want in life. There's things that I can't. But if I do not do something because of fear, that's a shame. Fear shouldn't stop me. And then I just start doing this podcast. I said, well, how am I going to call it? I cannot even speak my English kind of like adequate and fluent. So let's call it in broken English.
I like that. It's like you own it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in broken English, but you know what you're signing up for from the name. If you don't like it, leave. Yeah, there's a confidence in that title. That's what really drew me to, doing this in the first place. I really like that name.
Embrace the weird. Have you heard that? Embrace the weird.
That's the definition of my personality.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. That's why we click. We click. So I learned that. A professor taught me that.
Yeah.
That quote, embrace the weird. And that's sticking in my head and helped me.
I'm glad you did.
I have a question.
Lay down.
You mentioned earlier that you learn how to love yourself before loving others.
Yeah.
So what is self-love for you?
Self-love for me?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a little difficult to define. Self-love for me is cooking really well, for starters. Taking care of yourself, hygiene physically. That should be like the first thing before anything else. But what I've found from my experience is to not let anger and hatred take a hold of you. Not seeing things, like when bad things happen to you, like I had the worst time in the dating scene here in the Bay Area. And so I started to really internalize all of that failure. I thought it was me. I thought the world was just messed up. I thought, all of these different things that really broke down my confidence. And I looked at myself in a bad way. I looked at the world in a bad way. And so Self-love to me is finding that balance, not internalizing failure and taking the tiny steps to move on and improve. Because I don't believe that time heals all wounds, but time gives you the opportunity to heal. And you don't do it in big changes. It's the tiny things from putting the phone down, giving up social media, even for 5 minutes, just so you can get outside and get some sun. That's what self-love means to me. Taking the tiny actions that lead up into a big change.
I like it.
Yeah, and that's a big thing that I focused on the past year and a half, learning to love myself.
I like it.
Yeah, and not hating things, and not, because dating has been difficult for me, very, divine intervention, how the heck does this happen? And it also does one good. It's also a part of self-love to not be angry at the world for things that are happening to you, or even being angry at God, or, your parents, or, not being angry at these things, because that's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all.
I'm asking you because, I'm learning from others. And to me, that's very important, self-love.
Yeah. What does self-love mean to you?
Discipline.
Discipline.
Do what is right, even if you don't want to do it.
I like that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Waking up early, do my workout. I hate it.
Yeah.
But that's self-love.
Yeah, no, I'm struggling with that too.
As a man, a love of self-love is tough self-love. Set up standards. Even though talking about dating, if she could be very beautiful, but she doesn't meet the standard.
Yeah.
Just in a polite way, reject that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
At the same time, love others adequately.
Yeah, and wish them the best.
Yes.
Wish them love, because if someone, stands you up on a date and you wish for them to get in a car accident, that's not self-love. You're still holding on to that. You have to think nothing of it and move forward. Didn't mean to hijack the conversation there.
No.
I thought of a metaphor there, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly it. Don't give in to the dark side.
Something I want to say, because I keep hearing this from others, but the Bay Area as a man, you're talking about dating. This is, and I tell you as someone who traveled, Bay Area is one of the worst places to date as a man.
Thank you for saying that.
It's a
Thank you. I thought I was for the longest time, I thought I was doing something wrong.
No, you good. There's a lot of people in that situation. Now,
okay, cool.
I would say women's gonna say the same. Yeah. I think what we were talking earlier, I think that the Bay Area is very good, and a lot of people need to learn from this place good things that we have.
Yeah.
But in others, we're not that good. And I don't know if this is maybe post-pandemic but I keep hearing that, dating as a man, find a woman, a good quality woman.
Yeah.
It is difficult. But it's not impossible.
You're right.
I think that meanwhile, and this is the thing, as a man, we have advantage. We don't have a clock ticking. Oh, you're 27. I mean, I'm 40 and I don't care. We have that advantage, and I think the best advice and that I would give as a man is keep taking care of yourself.
Yes. And
learn how to explore, but also learn how to say no. I think it's very important.
Yes.
Great, you're cute, this, but no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And because as a man, we also have a lot to lose if we just, if we don't do the right choices.
Oh yeah.
So But yes, so Bay Area is very difficult. I keep hearing that. Actually, this is a hot topic. You can go to Google and people talk about this.
Oh yeah, there's a whole subreddit on this thing.
It's a whole thing, you know. But yeah, I think meanwhile, while you find the one, then learning how to love yourself. And I think the more we start loving ourselves, it's become this kind of we say in Spanish embudo, like this cone, because you start becoming more picky.
Oh,
right?
Okay. I see why you describe it as a cone. That makes sense.
Yeah, because when I was in my 20s, I don't care. I was like, you. I don't care. You good or you're gonna hurt me. Like I don't care.
Oh yeah. Like in my early 20s.
No expectations. But now, when you start becoming picky, now selection is going to be more, difficult. You know, and that's it. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
You know, so
I feel that.
But meanwhile, we need to keep loving, ourselves, and yeah. So what is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Baby, don't hurt me. That's a good one.
That's something that I've found really difficult to describe. There's self-love is, you can say that love is, wishing on someone else what you want for yourself. Like, for example, discipline and reaping all the rewards that come with discipline. You want those rewards to happen to somebody else. But in terms of like dating and romance, like what love is, I wrote a short story and I came up with this line that I absolutely love, that I feel like perfectly describes romantic love. Like there's a difference between being in love and to love somebody. Being in love means it's that honeymoon feeling, right? Yeah. But to truly love somebody, you want them to laugh even if you didn't tell the joke. It's that kind of thing, that kind of, as long as they're having a great time, then I'm happy. You
mentioned, I agree. You mentioned something important, is the difference between in love and love.
Huge difference.
Huge. I think in love is a feeling. It's just pure feeling.
Oh, yeah.
I think, and love for me is more kind of like a verb. And let me explain.
Sure.
I had to redefine my whole life, like simple concept of what is God, what is love, what is happiness. So I have very short. That's why I think I have all my bullets ready, But to me, love is not romantic at all. And I think we established that, right? Because it's not in love. So love is not romantic at all. Love is to help without expecting anything back. Help whatever thing. If I pour water into that flower, that's love. That I'm gonna let that flower be a flower without expecting anything back. If I help you, that's an act of love. If I'm not expecting anything back. So it just help something or someone without expecting anything back. And that's not romantic at all. Because a lot of people are gonna say, well, wait a second, if I love someone, I also expecting that person to give me love.
Yeah.
I don't see that only as love. I see that as commitment.
Yes.
And today's day, a lot of people fell over and over and over because they finding that love and say it's not love what you want, it's commitment.
That's a good point.
Because commitment is like, oh, I give you love. I'm committed to you to give you love. You give me love. It's an exchange.
Yeah.
It's like a business. If I do this for you and you do this for me,
yeah.
Okay, it's a deal. That's a commitment. If I do something for you without expecting anything back, that is love. And that helped me a lot. That helped me a lot in the past. When I felt very lonely and I was lost, I started helping others without expecting anything back. And then I saw that people do tiny favors for me without expecting anything back. And I said, hey, I feel love.
Yeah.
I don't have the commitment of a relationship, but I feel love. And to me, that's why I say love is give without expecting anything back. So commitment, I think, is kind of more challenging,
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting idea, the separation of commitment and love. I never thought of it that way.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
I really didn't. And that, come to think of it, that makes a lot of sense. Because with that commitment, you expect someone else to give it back. But like, I also feel that, when you love somebody, whether it's family or a friend or something, it's like you trust them to return that. What I'm trying to say is I believe that the foundation of love is trust as well. Does that make sense?
it makes sense. That made me think about commitment.
Yeah.
Because you want to commit, which is it's like a deal. It's like a contract of love. That's commitment. It is. If I commit with you, I'm gonna love you.
Yeah.
But then I'm expecting you to love me, which means you're not gonna cheat on me. You're gonna be fair with me, and I'm gonna be fair with you. That's commitment. So of course, have to be trust. If there's no trust, it's not going to develop.
There's no love.
But the fact of love, I think, because for so many years, and a part of me is very free. And I had this saying that I say, oh, Angel, I love you. Love me free. Love me free. I said to people, you love me? Love me free. Which means you can show love to me. Don't expect anything from me if you truly love me.
Of course.
Now, that if I decide to love you, I'm going to do things for you. You don't owe me anything.
Sounds good.
Very simple.
Yeah.
So that's why I said love me free. Now, if somebody want more than that, then it's commitment.
Got it.
And if someone want to commit with me, then it's another $20. We need to see a lot of things, a lot of dynamics, and I think I'm good with that. Yeah. So yeah.
That makes total sense. I'm going to pivot to another subject, actually. What is a story from your childhood that really touches your soul, and the lessons you learned from that story you still use today? It could be anything, even if it's from the Bible or a movie.
Wow, I don't want to sound dark, but the most difficult stage of my life is childhood.
Childhood?
Childhood is the most nasty, messed up thing and experience in my life. Of course, I learned a lot of my childhood.
Yeah.
But it took me years to find out. I'm gonna say something very crazy.
Lay it down.
Very crazy, very crazy.
I'm crazy myself, so I'm open to it.
I'm very okay to believe that life is unfair.
Okay.
Life is very unfair. I'm seeing it from my childhood, and I'm seeing it when I go to nature. When animals eat each other.
Oh, yeah.
All this tragedy. Life is chaos. Is a mess. It's a fiasco. Now, if life is unfair, and this is going to say what I said is dark. Now I'm going to say something, maybe my ego is way above, but that's the way that I'm balancing things out.
Yeah.
I deserve everything. If life is unfair, which means something bad could happen to me unfairly, I deserve everything good. I don't need to be ready.
Yeah.
If I become very successful, people, deserve that I do. Life is unfair. Life is unfair. So either for good or either for bad.
Okay. Well, let me ask you something then.
Yeah.
What is stopping you morally from taking from others if you deserve everything? Like, what's stopping you from
to do the wrong thing? Or you say taking from other? I mean, I can take something from other. Let
me change the question then. Actually, you just give me an idea. How do you define what's wrong? If life has been unfair to you, where do you draw the line? What stops you from breaking the heart of the next woman that comes into your life?
So here's my answer.
Sure.
We are animals.
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Our brain and our body is animal. Now,
Yeah.
there's only one different that separate us from the other animals. Is consciousness.
Oh, I was going to say rock and roll, but yeah. Yeah.
Consciousness, my friend, consciousness. And consciousness is spirituality. When you're conscious, you're spiritual. So what it keep me away to do the wrong thing or to not break people's heart or don't mess it up is my conscious, is my awareness. That is my belief in, there's a God.
Yeah.
Because that consciousness. So I think we're spiritual creatures trapped in animal body. That's why by instinct, as you say, anger, sometimes you want to kill somebody. Or sometimes we do the wrong things because our animal instinct, unfair things. That's why when you look around in the world, even in the animal kingdom, a lot of unfairness happen. But animals doesn't have consciousness. We do. So my consciousness is what keep me away, or I do my best to not do the wrong things. Consciousness equal to spirituality for me. So for me, being spiritual is very important.
That's a good answer. It's a really good answer.
Cool.
Yeah. And to an extent, I agree. Like our ability to be aware of right and wrong, even though some animals display, altruism and love for each other. Like in dogs, for example, I think.
Don't you think it's instinct?
Huh?
Instinct.
I think it's love, personally. How you see the stories of dogs like saving babies and stuff from a burning house or something like that. But no, I agree with what you said, that consciousness, and that spirituality really does set us apart.
When people who do the wrong things or and this happened to people when people start finding God, start going to church because they trying to find something, being spiritual, and they do it through religion or to other, as example.
Yeah.
For me, that person want to connect with themselves, being conscious, being aware.
Yeah.
Because if we take our conscious away, we are animals. Like we said earlier, we are animals like everybody else.
Yeah.
The fact that we can build and we can be rational and destroy things on purpose with intention is because we are conscious. So
I see where you're coming from.
But still, I can fuck it up once in a while.
Oh, of course. I mean, what's life without breaking your diet?
Right. Oh my God. Yeah, no diet. Do you have a good childhood?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say so. I didn't grow up on the streets. I had a warm bed and a full belly. My mom pushed us to go to karate. It wasn't a perfect childhood by any means, but I'd say it was good. Now that I'm in the real world, and I work in a hospital, and I see a lot of crazy stuff, happen to people who are a lot younger than I am. And I don't know how my mind would have taken things that are happening to them, whether it's, a gunshot wound or what have you. None of that ever really happened to me. And so it's kind of putting my own childhood into perspective. I spent all this time running from my childhood home, running from, who I was. I had so many regrets. And now that I'm older and it puts everything into perspective, and everything that I see, even on the streets, you see some kids on the streets. Hell, people that didn't grow up with no parents or anything. Like my mom raised me on video games. I learned math from Magic the Gathering, which is a trading card game. And some people my age didn't have that, and they still don't know math. So I think, actually, I'm talking myself into this. Yes, I had a good childhood. It wasn't perfect, but my mom raised me on Halo 2, and she's an asshole. I love her very much.
Good. I'm glad to hear
Yes.
that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, it doesn't have me. Like, I'm glad to hear that. I didn't have a good childhood, like I said earlier, but I don't dare. I mean, look, I got a confession.
Sure.
In private, when there's nobody around,
Yeah.
and with some friends, I bitch. I complain.
Yeah.
But you know what? I do it in secret
Hmm.
because I don't dare to be ungrateful because, like you said earlier, like, look, I'm still alive. I'm in a great place. There's no bullet flying by. Yes, my childhood was bad, but I'm alive.
Yeah.
This kid whose terrible things happen.
Mm-hmm.
People die.
Oh, yeah.
And we cannot, I said, look, I'm 40 years old and I don't take that as granted. Like, every day I wake up is, wow, I'm alive again. I have another chance. Good. Try to enjoy this, So, and I have opportunities. Because we have opportunities. So, because of that, I don't dare to complain. I do.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's right. But as a human, that I'm imperfect. And you mentioned earlier something about don't being upset or being mad. This is me trying to. This is also gonna sound dark, but this is how I've been surviving my life, and I'm trying to find meaning to my life and deal with my stuff. I have my angels and I have my demons.
Of course.
Right? So I don't gonna kill my demons because that's part of me. I don't wanna kill my angels either, of course.
I think that's very wise.
So I need talking about discipline and being aware and being conscious. So when I'm upset, I'm giving the chance to be upset. It's totally good. Yeah. It's totally okay. Because I know how to control myself, because I'm disciplined with myself. I know how to contain my emotions. The same, when I feel happy, I allow to myself to be happy because I know how to contain my happiness. Because in the same way that it is bad when you get upset and you don't know how to control that can take you to dark places. Being happy and you don't know how to control the happiness, it can take you to very
dark places.
Yes.
Yeah. Drugs.
I have been in those.
Yay, drugs.
So yes, example like drugs. Oops, she's pregnant, or like.
Oh yeah. So one glass of wine is all it takes.
Yes, so. It is very important for me to look. I give myself permission to be. I don't have to be perfect. I'm human.
Yeah.
So if I'm mad, it's okay to be mad. I'm not gonna block that emotion. I think it's healthy to find ways to canalize that emotion, right? So you don't end up in jail or doing something that is not right or hurting someone or hurting yourself. And the same with happiness. But at the end, if I feel proud of that, not. I'm saying this because I don't dare to complain about life. And I'm telling you, I think life is unfair. And I don't dare to complain about that because I'm
Why would you?
Still alive. Yeah. And we have this experience of, bro, we alive.
Hell yeah.
And and see, wow, we got two hands and I'm being in the present moment and I'm talking to you. In 30 years, this format of video is going to be preserved, hopefully. And you're going to listen to this.
Yeah.
And we're going to listen to this and say, oh, shit, that was so cool.
Our kids might watch this one day.
Oh, my God, yeah. I say, hey, who's that crazy bald guy? Hi, kids, in the future. Yeah. So you want to have kids?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. If I'm to be anything in this life, it's a husband and a father.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. My mom told me stories of what my father was like when he was around my age, when he was like 20, 19. He didn't have like these grandiose dreams of becoming rich and famous. He's a simple, happy man. He just wants to be a husband and a father, and he's a damn good one. Yeah, so he's working. He worked at a warehouse in grocery, actually, which was a blessing. If anyone here is old enough to remember, like the housing market crash of like the early 2000s, we were kind of immune to that because my father worked. There was a huge recession in the economy. People were getting laid off left and right. But my father worked in grocery. He worked in a warehouse that stored food. I mean. Your job is secure because that's always going to be in demand. And he would work, 10, 16-hour shifts, just to support us, and if I had a job like that, but had, a happy wife and happy kids in a house, like I'd be happy too. Something that was kind of instilled in me, something that I was told over and over and over again, go to college and, be a doctor and be successful. But you don't need that to be successful. And I'm starting to realize that now. Don't get me wrong. I miss going to college. I really do. And I'm saving up to return to college. But if I had one too many glasses of wine and then, oops, pregnant, I'd be okay. I would be able to definitely find happiness in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's why I definitely want kids.
That's very sweet to hear. I'm glad to hear that, and you sound very confident about that.
Yeah.
Now, if after I release this episode, you start seeing a lot of girls calling you. And
ladies, one at a time. I'll have to have
because you said you wanted, if I get pregnant, then look, this guy want a kid.
Yeah, and if they want to throw me their underwear, I'll leave a hamper outside my house.
Well, my perception is that you the way that you project and the vibe that I'm receiving from you is that you're a great man. Likewise. So you deserve a great woman, and I hope that you have that bunch of babies. I don't know how many you want, but I hope you achieve what you want. And
thank you for saying that.
And I'm glad that you're saying this because I have different mindset about that. I'm not.
What are you thinking?
Kids. I'm not gonna have kids.
You're for sure not.
Oh yeah, I took that decision when I was 13 years old.
When you were 13 years old, you just decided kids suck.
Yes, and they told me, of course you don't want babies because you're a baby. Look, I'm 40. I don't want babies. This is the thing. I grew up seeing, first of all, terrible childhood. My family was a mess. Then I started seeing people getting divorced. Oh
yeah, especially in this country.
Yes,
70% at some point.
Now it's even more. And I'm saying, well, and it's not something that the way that I'm wired. I'm not saying I don't want kids because trauma. Yeah. It's because in reality, the way that I'm wired, I think I love kids.
Of course.
If you see me with a baby, a lot of people tell me, you will be a great dad. Yeah. I have friends that their kids, now they're adult and they still remember me. Oh, your friend taught me sweet. That. Yeah, it's very sweet. But it's not the thing.
Would you ever adopt?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What age would you adopt? Would you adopt like a teenager?
I don't know. Depend. If I'm bored and I want some drama in my life, I would just get it. Is that 16? He have been kicked out for how many places? Bring me that one.
Well, shit.
But yeah, I would adopt. But that's the other thing. Also, let's talk about the finances today. Is difficult. It's very expensive.
Oh yeah, we're in the Bay Area too. We need 3 jobs, an OnlyFans, and a doctorate degree just to afford a 1-bedroom apartment. Let alone a kid who doesn't work and eats all our food.
Yeah. So
do I want to be a dad? I'm just kidding.
No, I think it's very on point. Maybe the only fun thing. But yeah, I do want to spend my time with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, my life. I do.
Yeah.
And I'm very okay with that idea, and I feel very confident.
Okay, on that note, on that note, so you say you want to, spend the rest of your time with somebody, and you're willing to adopt. Does that mean that you're also open to the idea if you meet a woman and she is a mom? Would you be okay with being a stepdad?
Yes.
No matter how young the child is?
It matters.
Oh, it matters.
It matters, the behavior, the background. It matters a lot of things.
Gotcha.
But it's not something that I'm going to disqualify.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
Because I think there's great single mom out there.
Oh, absolutely. They're champions.
And to me, this idea of being a dad is not only to see, it's my kid, is the ideas that how can I influence that kid? I think it's the most important thing and the thing that satisfies me.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
So it's not disqualify. But it doesn't mean that I need to know, and I'm going to see, and I'm going to watch, and I have the right to ask.
Yeah,
and I'm going to inspect. So.
Of course, be picky, like you said with the cone.
Very, very, very picky.
Be the cone.
Yeah. So, and that's actually that's how I feel in the cone. I'm very picky, but I'm not worried about that anymore at all.
I think it's a really good thing that you don't worry about that.
I don't need to. I feel good. I feel set in that aspect.
I'm glad to hear that, because that's a difficult question to answer, and it's a difficult conclusion as well. So I'm glad that you reached that point and that you're confident in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know if it's going to. I just gonna say it.
Sure.
A lot of time we think about goals.
Yeah.
And this is another controversial thought. I don't have goals anymore. And I know that sounds very disappointed. I don't have goals. I fell in love of pursuing the habit. Just to have it. Like, for example, back in the day, I want to lose weight and I want my biggest chest. That's not a goal anymore. But it's important to keep the habit of going to the gym and have proper nutrition, falling in love with the habit. So I'm saying this because it applies to everything in life. I know, like this podcast, for example, I don't think, this podcast is going to be successful. People are going to subscribe. It's not my intention. I don't care. I'm in the habit. I'm enjoying this idea.
We'll see how well that statement ages when we finally reach 5 million subscribers.
Oh my God. Is that happening? Great.
Yeah, they're going to go back to this episode and they'll be like, you had no idea, Angel. You had no idea.
It could be. But if that happened, it's because I fell in love of the habit, not because of the goal.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that.
And that take me so much pressure away from me.
Does it really?
Yeah. Because this culture talking about, you have to be successful. And like we are wired and we got educated just to be like goal and go get it. And I think, look, like sometimes we're so busy into that we miss the present moment.
Yeah, you're totally right. I've always kind of had this fantasy of like, being a dad and, having kids in the house and all that stuff, to the point where it actually kind of affected how I talk to women. Like, I talk to any beautiful woman and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is the story we're going to be telling our kids, and it kind of messed me up. And to the point, like, where any interaction with a woman that I'm interested in, I would sneeze, she said, bless you. Oh my God, dude, she totally wants me. Oh my God. So I see exactly where you're coming from, because I wasn't living in the moments, and that's why it never really worked out. That's something that I realized like last fall, actually, that I was a real Ted Mosby. I was just focusing on, the goal of, commitment and falling in love. When if you don't have a goal at all, it just happens naturally.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, you're right about that, and I agree.
So just keep doing the right thing, and loving yourself, and down expectation, and then you just boom.
Yeah. And if a beautiful woman asks you where the bathroom is, that doesn't mean she wants your kids. Sometimes she just wants to know where the bathroom is. Very important lessons to learn.
You really said that. I love it.
No, that like that's something that I've noticed, that like boys be like. They'll be like, dude, she totally wants you.
Yeah. I don't know how much I want to compromise myself, but
well, it's okay.
when I was,
it's
when I was
stay
in my
between
20,
you, me, and all the people watching this video.
Okay, good. But when I was in my 20, I never had that issue of I don't know why.
Well, of course, you're handsome. I'm a 6. I have to work for my kills.
Thank you. But when I was in my 20, that never was a problem. I always got a girl chasing me.
Yeah.
But I can tell something. I never was pursuing that. And I think that's what women saw. I said, oh, this guy's in his zone. And I was very rock climbing, working out, very in my studying.
Yeah.
I always loving myself. But I never was like, oh, I wonder. I never was chasing. Never.
Yeah.
Never. And I didn't knew that back in the days. But now I look and I say, oh, that's why that was. And I wasn't the most attractive guy. I knew that. I wasn't the most, I never dressed. I was very hippie. I was rock climbing, going to the beach, work out, rock climbing, go to school.
You probably had calves of steel.
Yeah.
Oh, if there's any way to turn on a woman, it's calves of steel.
Really?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and with your skin tone, shit.
Oh.
And you're tall, too. Oh, my God.
No, but it's very glad that you're saying that because, sometimes we appreciating what you're saying that because you don't have that.
I used to have calves of steel.
Oh, okay, but you have.
And then I got a job.
Look, you have a great voice. You project yourself very good. Like this color in Puerto Rico, overrated. Everybody has it. Like you want some light skin. For example,
right. Grass is always greener on the other side. I get you.
So yeah. And I think we need to.
Oh man.
To brag and to nurse the toys that God gave us. This is my appearance. I need to do my best. This is my like as soon as I start comparing with others, I'm gonna start saying, oh, I'm missing that. Of course, because I'm not like that.
Yeah.
So I think I kind of knew that. So that helped me. But also what I told you earlier about this finding partners, like I'm not pursuing because the fact that I wasn't pursuing, just that was always a woman available all the time. And that the same way to let's say. So bro.
Yeah. No,
for how long it's an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know how much battery left is this year. Let me just check.
Sure. Yeah.
Bro, an hour and 15 minutes.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh my God. We got 30% left. Let's just
Well, they got no curfew. I don't live with my parents. Thank the Lord.
When you turn 40, you're gonna have a automated curfew.
Because of like some of the wild hours on my job that I've had to do, I can't really stay up past midnight anyway. It's only 10 right now, but it's weird. And I'm trying to get into the habit of waking up early to go to the gym. Like I'm trying to wake up at 5, eat some pre-made breakfast that I made like the night before. I'm efficient like that. And then you get to the gym at 6 because I start work at like 9:30, and I want a good workout. And the Fitness SF, the gym that I go to, they have like hair dryers there, and it's really nice. It's really nice. So I go there, I take a shower, and then I dry my hair there, and then I take a short bus to work. That's what I'm trying to develop. So since I'm waking up at 5 every morning, I'm starting to get exhausted myself. Maybe I'm the 40-year-old here. Well, I do have an old soul for sure.
What I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you because this is what I'm trying to do. The reality is I'm doing much better now, but I have problems going to bed. So I can be, especially in the army, I can be 3 days with no sleeping and be functional like a zombie. 3 days no sleep. So every time I have an issue or something is concerning me, I can be 3 nights with no sleep.
Well, of course you don't sleep. You've been spending all that time making your bed.
Yeah.
No time to use it. Not with all the bed making you've been doing.
Nah, I do my bed, but I don't do it with fuck this like corners and stuff like that. Nah, nothing of that. But I was going to ask you,
Sure.
when you were a kid, at what time you go to bed?
What age? Give me a
Maybe
number.
10 years or 12 years.
Oh, 10, 12 years? Yeah, like 9, 10 o'clock.
Okay, at what time you wake up?
Around 6.
Okay,
I would imagine, yeah.
So-
around 6.
this thing about going bed early
Huh.
and waking up early is not for old people. It's actually young people. So I'm saying that because what I'm doing is a lot of my habits that I'm trying and actually doing it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to do anything to be mature. It's actually, I just need to have the same habit when I was a kid. When I was a kid,
Right.
I wasn't allowed to be in the TV. No, it's 9, you go to bed. And then we mess it up like until 10, like,
Yeah.
but there was no entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
That was no lights. That was no cell phone. So it's the same thing. The same thing when I was a kid. Okay, so I go to bed and 2 hours before. There's no electronics, and then I like to be by bed at 9. I hope to be sleeping at 10. Then wake up around 6 or 5. Do my workout, and when we wake up as a kid, we just get groggy a little bit. But that was no option. We had to go to school no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was not even you didn't negotiate that. You have to assume responsibility. So the discipline was kind of imposed. But now we need to be like impose ourselves to that discipline. So
Yeah. And something that I noticed that is actually like different. I don't know if you can say the same thing, but when I was a kid, I loved to stay up late because I felt like I had no control during the day, and at night was the only time that I had freedom. Now that I'm an adult and I feel like I have control over my own life, I actually thoroughly love waking up early. I love seeing the sun, open the curtains behind me, and then, I see the sky. It's lovely.
yeah.
I don't know if you could say the same thing, but
Yes. And I'm just saying that I'm thinking about, and you mentioned this earlier, like simple life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple life.
Simple life.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong at all.
Is nothing wrong. I think is a lot of the mental health issues that we have today's day and anxiety. I think a good remedy would be okay with having a simple life,
A routine.
a routine.
That
life.
was huge.
Life is not like Instagram. It's not like social media. It's not like we portray it in movies.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
a simple freaking life.
Yeah.
Simple.
Something that I have to keep in mind is that, I like the vast majority of what I have on social media is like, cooking, but behind every good looking meal is 1,000 failures.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to see that.
Yeah. Plus the editing and the lights, and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
that's magic. That's magic because when I make a French omelet, it looks like a turd. And I don't mean like it looks like crap. I mean it looks like a literal turd.
Well, that could be
So it's whatever they're doing with the lighting, magic.
Could be the third French toast.
Turd French toast.
Yeah, maybe that could trend.
Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Actually, French toast sounds amazing right now. That's just my inner fat boy talking.
Yeah,
But
I'm not gonna eat today, man.
I'm glad you enjoyed.
I really enjoyed.
So
that
glad
meal.
you enjoyed.
Yeah,
But yeah. That meal was like, dude, like $15.
15?
Yeah, because like the gnocchi was like $3, and they were having a sale on the vodka sauce that was also like $3. And then the beef, it's a little more pricey beef. That was $11. It was just under a pound, I want to say, but it was like pasture raised cows. So they were happy cows before we slaughtered them and turned them into ground beef, and it's better quality.
yeah.
It's better quality, much better quality. But I actually got it's funny. I actually got that beef because I was really hungover at the start of the week. I St. Patrick's Day was this past Sunday. I ended up having like 12 shots of whiskey, and you know, I crashed. I crashed here at home for like 2 hours because, you know, I got home at 3 and then I had work at 9:30 and I was like, crap. And I basically slogged through work on that day, and so I got off work, and I haven't actually had like pure beef since last September. So this is the first time that I had like a ground beef taco in months, since before we last saw each other on Thanksgiving. But I said, screw it, I'm going to get 25% fat percentage on this, you know, this grass-fed beef, and I'm going to make tacos, and later on I'm going to make pasta with it. No regrets. Yeah. And you know, the thing is, like my family has a history of like high cholesterol, and it's starting to manifest right now. So I really should be avoiding this kind of stuff. But damn it, I enjoyed that. That meal turned out really well. So I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. Yeah. Risking my life to make this meal.
Thank you.
That's what America's all about.
Thank you. Thank you for risk your life.
Oh, of course, my pleasure.
I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, I did too. My pleasure. My pleasure.
You know, I don't drink. I mean, I had never done like 12 shots of whiskey.
You're not missing out. You feel like crap.
Yeah.
I only did it because of the tall blonde.
Yeah,
who wasn't interested anyway. So you know, I also risked my life for that, and nothing happened.
Yeah, I hope you learn from that.
I'm good now.
Yeah, but I don't drink, and look, I think I know I'm not missing anything out. Especially then, the next day, I know people feel like, I mean, if I had get drunk before, I know, like 3 times in my life.
Only 3 times?
Oh, I remember the last time. It was in El Paso, Texas. It was so bad. I said, oh, never. And that was like more than 10 years ago.
What was that, tequila?
It was, okay. Here's a racial joke.
Lay
this
down.
Is a racist joke.
I'm Irish. That's kind of in my blood. So go for it.
I say why people don't know how to drink. Because...
I'm Irish, and I take offense from that.
You mix everything.
Yes, we do.
You mix, and then like, okay, Puerto Ricans drink. Like, we drink. Yeah. We like.
I'm Irish, and I'm intimidated.
Alcoholic, but we keep the same drink. No, like if we start with whiskey, we just go with whiskey.
Yeah,
we start with beer, we just beer. And I think that is different effect when you, hey, take this whiskey, now take this vodka, now take this beer.
Yeah, you want to do a shot of hand sanitizer? Let's go.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And then somebody, hey, I brought this shot here that you don't know how Jello, whatever.
It's over.
And that is the worst hangover. I remember I was hating myself like for 2 weeks. Like my back of my head was like blue. Maybe this is why I'm bald. I don't know, but it was like
it's a possibility.
And I'm so that tendency. So that's why I said this joke. White people don't know how to drink, but it is a
just
joke.
Americans, honestly.
But yeah, I don't drink. I think that's good. But something that I had to control that we were talking earlier, like how much sugar I ate. Because I can eat the whole cake, I can eat ice cream. Now I'm doing good, but that's my red flags there.
Yeah. No, you denied a ho-ho today.
Yes.
Like it takes a lot of strength to deny a ho, and I'm really impressed by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm proud.
So I cannot deny a ho. So I'm very proud.
Those are classic, man. Those are gonna be classic. Forever.
Yeah, no, I love hoes.
I'm
glad that you finally caught that.
Right, because that's the name. What's the name?
They're just called ho-hos.
Ho-hos.
Like Santa, ho-ho. Ho-ho-ho. Only it's
ho-ho-ho. I like that ho.
Ho-ho.
Yeah.
They're one of my favorites. And I like putting them in the freezer, too, because it crystallizes the chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I feel my arteries clogging just thinking about it.
Maybe that's, in keto diet.
Yeah.
They say a lot that what rice cholesterol is not the fat of meat, is combining the fat with the sugar stuff.
Yes.
When you create that is when cholesterol. But if you just stay away from those sugary stuff, then the the body digests different. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
it also
think
depends on your body too.
either it's good to have like a balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're still young. You can eat those hoes and
Yeah.
and yeah, have fun with it.
Yeah, within reason. But like one of the reasons why I try to put down beef as well, and this applies to anyone of like all ages, that for some reason, like red meat, like if I go for a run the next day, whatever you eat today is going to affect you tomorrow. So if I have like, you know, like I just had a bunch of beef with pasta, like gnocchi, like potato pasta. So it's basically like, in a sense, steak and potatoes. If I try to run a mile tomorrow, it's going to be 14 minutes. Like, it will double my time because I feel god awful. A friend of mine went pescatarian recently, and I was like, I'm going to go pescatarian with you. And I ran a mile, and I was just telling you that like that was 7 minutes and 15 seconds. I was like, the best mile I've ran in a while. And it was also the uptick in vegetables and the lack of like heavy fattening food in my diet, because all I was eating was like Brussels sprouts, brown rice, and fish, like wild caught fish that I would buy at a farmer's market, and then I would fillet it myself. So it was really cheap. Most of what you pay for is usually like the deboning, but if you were to do that yourself, salmon's like $10 a pound.
Oh, really?
It's amazing. Oh yeah. So if you go to like a Safeway, right, or a Seder Brothers, wherever you're at, like a pound of salmon is generally like $22 and all the bones taken out. But if you go to like a fish market that has like salmon or halibut or even like tuna, and you buy it like on their own, they take the fish, chop off the head, cut it in sections, and they go, here you go. It's like $10 a pound. Oh, it's really good saving
and
money.
It's better quality because like it's more fresh.
Generally, yeah. But how you can tell if salmon is like of high quality? You don't get farm raised, you don't get anything like that. You get wild caught.
Yes.
And salmon is naturally red.
Yeah.
So if you go to a Safeway and you see the salmon is kind of orange, that's fake color.
Yeah.
That's fake color.
I learned that also because of the size of the worms.
Yes, that too. That's big. But that's another reason why you cook it. I wouldn't be too concerned with parasites when it comes to fish. If you're making sushi, no, it has to be like cured, like pure, blessed by the gods.
I heard that what they do to cure
salmon.
it, even though the sushi, even though the salmon is fresh, they frozen and defroze it to kill the parasite. I keep hearing that.
Yeah, but continue.
But something that I didn't know this because I used to eat a lot of salmon, and then I discovered that salmon have these worms, or that they totally normal. Yeah, is a thing. Yeah, it's totally normal. So I stopped eating salmon like for half a year because I couldn't go over it. Yeah, no, it is weird. Yeah. It is weird. But then I said screw that. So now I eat it. I love it. I eat a lot of salmon, and you're right. Like I get the white caught, right? There's a reddish one. Yeah, I think it's just better because they don't put it antibiotics.
If it's wild caught, it's natural habitat. It's a little more expensive, but like I said, if you get it like good. With the bone, then it divides a lot of the price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, right. There's a lot of like farmers markets in San Francisco all over the place, and some of it is locally caught. But when it comes to like salmon, like most salmon comes from Alaska, so it's actually already frozen by the time it gets here, and then it's just kind of thawed out a little bit. That's something to consider, but I digress. So if you go to like a farmer's market, odds are there's going to be one or two fishermen there, and just buy sections of a fish, learn to fillet it, and you'll save a lot of money. It's more work, of course.
Where'd you buy it?
Like any kind of farmer's market, really. And there's a lot of like fish markets in like a store, but that's really nothing compared to fishermen that go out to sea, like not anywhere near a metropolis or anything like that, because the water quality is it's kind of bad. Therefore, the quality of fish is going to be bad too. But there's a lot of fishermen that go like out into like the deep ocean and fish that way. And for example, there's one that's right here next to the beach. That's here every Sunday, and there's this dude who owns like his own, deep sea fishing boat, and he goes like miles out to the ocean.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He'll come back. Huh?
Like, do you talk to him? Like,
yeah. No,
I
I buy fish almost exclusively from this guy, and it's like sometimes he'll bring like an entire halibut, weighs 50 pounds, and he'll sell it for $40.
Oh,
And that's like when I was pescatarian, that's what I did for the first week, was that one halibut fish, and I learned how to fillet it, descale it and everything. That takes a little bit of practice, but it impresses the crap out of the ladies knowing that you can do that. And B, it saves a lot of money. Like I said, that was 50 pounds of fish for $40. That lasted me an entire week. I was eating fish for lunch and dinner in a whole bunch of different ways. Sometimes with pesto, other times with rice.
I'm following this story, but I had to stop when you said impressed the lady.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I just imagine the scene. Like, look what I can do. I will. Will you take me there?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. I was gonna go this Sunday actually to see if he shows up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
hopefully it doesn't rain. It's been hit or miss lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll text you and then we'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Walk around.
I'm thinking
Think away.
we should put that in the. Yeah, let's plan that out. I want to go to the fish market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Not to impress ladies, but to get the fish.
Oh, okay. We have two different goals here, but you know what? That's okay. That's okay.
Hey. You have the last word. What would you say if you want to? Let me put my thoughts together. Wait a second. We have been talking a lot. We start talking about
It's
the
been like an
book
hour and a half.
about particles of light, atoms.
Yeah.
Then we talk
What
about
love is.
how's that?
What love is.
Love,
Yeah.
self-love, dating, family, happiness, fish, hoes.
Oh yeah, got some in my freezer.
What would you say what would be your last word in this conversation, in this connection?
Enjoy life. Just enjoy life. Stop worrying about things. Eat fish. Eat hoes.
That's a good advice.
Yeah, eat fish, eat hoes. And I think that also kind of harkens back to what you were saying about not having goals either, and just enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
So that's my last word. Enjoy life.
I would say, I agree with you. I echo what you're saying. Enjoy life. This idea of not having goals helped me as far as I have good habits. That's the key.
Yeah.
Because you don't have goals and then you have bad habits, I don't think it's going to work. But if we have good habits, then the outcome is good. Good habits, self-love, be responsible with yourself. I would say that. I'm saying this, I'm talking to myself at the same time because I know I'm going to be watching to this episode and listening. Yeah. Hi, future self. I would say one of the most beautiful things in life is connect. Talk to people. I would say keep talking to others, especially different people.
Oh yeah.
Talk to people who are different. Don't talk to the same people who gonna be always agree or just challenge yourself and talk to people. And to me, that is what helping me a lot, to me, to heal, to grow, to create and connect, just connecting with people. And I want to keep that tradition, hopefully, like for the rest of my life, hopefully, if I can continue doing this. And I would say thank you, because you're great, man. You're cool. And this is the second time. This is actually the first time that, yes, we met one time.
Yeah.
But this is the first, actually, time to connecting, for real, having a conversation.
Yeah. No, I thank you for coming over. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I can tell, man. You look very happy.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep really well tonight.
Yeah.
That's something too. I've been needing to do. I still feel that whiskey in my stomach.
Just drink water.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Eat carbs, which I have been. That nochi was... But now I'm out of time, so I got to get more time. Speaking of time, thank you for coming by.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you for hosting, too.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right, bro. We call it out.
Sounds good.
That's it, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Bro.
Did you want me to help clean up?
Yeah. Let me turn this.